Have you ever felt that mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of dread when a show you loved, like a real cultural touchstone, announced a spinoff?
Oh, yeah, it's that hope, right?
Mhm.
That lightning strikes twice, but then there's that huge weight of expectation.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into exactly that with How I Met Your Father, the spinoff to, well, the legendary How I Met Your Mother.
Right. And our mission here is to really unpack what fans thought about him from the start, which was kind of rocky, to its pretty surprising cancellation.
We've sifted through a ton of fan discussions, mostly from Reddit, the dedicated communities for both shows. We want to see what this whole journey tells us about legacy, about sitcoms today.
And you might actually be surprised how passionate people got about this new group of fictional friends,
Mm,
especially compared to the OGs.
totally. So let's set the scene. How I Met Your Father, HIMYF, starred Hilary Duff as Sophie, and she's telling her son the epic story of meeting his dad, modern New York City backdrop.
But with Humam looming so large, was it just fighting an uphill battle from the get-go?
Seems like it. The moment it was announced, the comparison started. It wasn't just inevitable, it was like the main way people talked about it.
Yeah, I saw so many comments saying basically, if it wasn't tied to him, nobody would watch. Which, ouch.
Right. It really highlights that spin-off problem. How do you honor the original without just, I don't know, writing the references, like some fans said, to get fan approval?
Or just pandering to nostalgia, yeah. It creates this immense pressure, probably impossible for most shows to live up to.
And what's really interesting here, something a lot of fans brought up, was that Hima wasn't even the first try.
Oh yeah, the Greta Gerwig one.
Exactly. Back in 2014, How I Met Your Dad, a pilot was made. And a good chunk of fans who somehow saw it, they felt that one had the natural Himim vibes.
They use words like charm, timelessness, said it didn't feel cringe or like it was trying too hard. A lot of people really wish that version had gone forward instead.
It's almost like the audience had this clear idea, maybe based on that pilot, of what they wanted. And Highway F, well, initially it didn't quite hit that mark for them.
Yeah, it shows how powerful those early impressions can be, even from something unreleased. So, okay, all this anticipation, how did Himwai actually land when it premiered?
Well, let's just say it faced a critical storm right out of the gate.
Mhm.
One of the loudest complaints echoing everywhere was about the core of any sitcom. The cast, their connection.
Right. People call the acting terrible. A real lack of chemistry was a common theme. Made it tough for viewers to, love the characters and stories.
Yeah, hard to get behind an ensemble comedy if you're not feeling the group dynamic. And that description, the one people kept using for season 1, especially the pilot,
The tween Disney Channel show.
that's the one. Super memorable, kind of brutal. It suggested this, like, immaturity or maybe an over-the-top style that just didn't fit the Hingham mold people expected.
Although, interestingly, one person did comment, that's just every new sitcom now, which is quite a statement on modern comedies.
It really is, isn't it? Like, has the whole vibe shifted? Does what used to feel sharp now feel, I don't know, too glossy or safe for some?
Could be. And beyond the vibe, the actual writing, the jokes, they also got hit hard. Awful. Too surface level, safe, predictable, bad. Those were words thrown around.
Some even said the punchline deliveries felt unnatural. And apparently, when it tried to tackle current issues, some fans felt it kind of killed the comedy vibe.
Yeah, that's a tricky balance.
Mm.
Which leads to another big sitcom element, the characters themselves. Early on, many felt they just lacked distinct personalities.
Right. There was that really specific critique. If you take any of their lines and swap it around with another character, then the episode wouldn't change much.
Oof, that really cuts deep for a character-driven show.
Yeah.
And it highlights a big difference from the original HIMYF, where Ted, Barney, Robin, Marshall, Lily, they were so distinct so fast.
Totally. It shows how vital that immediate character hook is, especially when you're trying to follow up a giant like AIIM.
Definitely. And speaking of differences, the narrative style got critiqued too. Some found it too linear.
Yeah, compared to Hyam's complex timelines, the cutaways, the flashbacks, people miss that depth.
And one user had this interesting observation, calling it a modern post #MeToo woke type sitcom. They noted the absence of an alpha male type, no stereotype jokes, lots of representation.
Okay.
But, and this is the key part of their comment, they felt all that worked, but the writing really suffered.
That's a really sharp take. It points to this tension, right? Can you evolve with the times, represent more diversely, and keep that sharp, maybe even edgy humor people loved in the past?
It's a delicate act, clearly. The fan reactions suggest it's tough to get right.
But, it wasn't all negative, was it? There had to be some bright spots.
Oh, for sure. Despite all those initial criticisms, there were definitely people who found the show enjoyable, decent, cute. Some even said pretty funny.
Okay, so it had its fans from the start.
Yeah. And Hilary Duff as Sophie,
Mm.
often highlighted as a strong point. Some viewers actually related more to her than they ever did to Ted Mosby.
Interesting.
And of course, the little nods to Hey Who I Am, seeing the old apartment, McLaren's cub, that stuff was appreciated. Comfort food, almost.
So, okay, a really rocky start. Lots of criticism. Did it ever manage to, turn things around, find its groove?
That's where the story gets kind of interesting. Because, yeah, despite that rough beginning, there's this really strong consensus among fans that Season 2 was much better.
Really? A big improvement.
Huge. Significant improvement is the phrase you see a lot. It's like the classic sitcom comeback narrative. People felt it finally started finding its footing, hitting its stride, and crucially, establishing its own identity.
Okay, so what changed? What were the key shifts that made Season 2 work better for people?
Well, a few things. One comment was it remembered that it was a comedy, and it let the group of friends actually feel like a group of friends.
So less focus purely on the central mystery, maybe. More just hanging out.
Exactly. More stories focused on the gang just getting into hijinks, not just who Sophie ends up with. And, this seems really important, the episode order.
How so?
Season 2 had 20 episodes. Season 1 only had 10. Fans felt that extra time was vital. It allowed more space to develop characters and for the chemistry to get down.
That makes so much sense. It really speaks to that modern TV issue, doesn't it? These short first seasons. Sometimes shows just don't get enough runway.
Totally. Unlike older sitcoms that often got 22, 24 episodes right out of the gate, you need time for things to breathe, for the cast to really click.
Like asking a band to nail their biggest hit after just one rehearsal.
Good analogy. And that improved chemistry in Season 2 wasn't just the main cast finding their rhythm, it also got a boost from some very familiar faces.
Ah, the cameo.
The power of cameos, they were a big draw.
Yeah.
Robin showing up, Barney, the captain, Sandy Rivers. People love seeing them.
I bet. Especially Barney, right. Neil Patrick Harris returning.
Oh yeah, Barney's appearances got huge praise. Some fans literally said his bits were the only good thing so far, or that he made the show much better.
It's that nostalgia double-edged sword, isn't it? It pulls people in, but bam, instant comparison.
Exactly. And the familiar wasn't just faces, it was plot points too. The Season 2 finale, especially.
What happened there?
Well, it mirrored Hymnium's Season 2 finale pretty closely. You had Jesse and Sophie finally getting together, kissing in the rain, Jesse leaving his girlfriend.
Kind of like Ted leaving Victoria for Robin.
Precisely. And you also had Sid and Hannah breaking up their marriage.
Like Lily and Marshall breaking their engagement. Wow.
Yeah. So naturally, mixed reactions. Some saw it as a great nod, paying homage. Others were like, too similar, unoriginal, even lazy writing.
It's a fine line between tribute and just repeating stuff.
Definitely. But on a different note, something fans did appreciate was that HIMYF apparently solved a lot of holes from HIMYF. The pineapple incident got mentioned specifically.
Huh. They finally explained the pineapple. That's amazing. A nice little wink for the diehards.
Exactly.
Okay, so the show itself is improving, getting better reactions in Season 2. What about the characters individually? Did that chemistry really start to get down, like the fans said?
Yeah, the general feeling was the ensemble was improving, gaining their footing by Season 2. Looking at specifics, Sophie, Hilary Duff, still the center. But opinions remained a bit divided. Some still felt she wasn't a great lead or the writing wasn't strong enough for her.
And others liked her.
Oh yeah, others really appreciated her strong, independent woman vibe. And people noted the use of Kim Cattrall as older Sophie was clever. It avoided aging up Duff, and it opened the door for more diversity possibilities for the father.
Smart. What about the main love interests, Jesse?
Jesse was often compared to Ted, obviously, and some still felt that lack of chemistry with Sophie made the romance feel underwhelming to them. A few even thought the actor was maybe wrong for the part, which is harsh, but it was out there.
Tough critique for a lead. What about Sid?
Sid got a lot more love. People definitely caught the big Marshall vibes, saw him as a great partner type. He was seen as slowly becoming a star of the show. Really gained fan affection.
Okay, nice. Any other standouts?
Charlie definitely emerged as a fan favorite, described as 10-10, a kind of modern Barney that actually works today.
Oh, interesting. So they managed to capture some of that energy but update it.
Seems like it, yeah. And Valentina, Sophie's best friend, also got praise. Very good on screen, natural confidence, Her friendship with Sophie was seen as a real highlight.
That core female friendship is key. But not everyone landed quite as well.
Right. Ellen, Jesse's sister, and Hannah, Sid's wife. The criticism was they just didn't get enough big moments or screen time to really develop.
So they felt a bit sidelined.
Yeah. Hannah, especially, had a very small impact on viewers, apparently, which kind of lessened the blow when she and Sid broke up. People weren't as invested.
Oh, sense. Anyone else?
Josh Peck as Drew. He was Sophie's boyfriend for a bit. The take was he was surprisingly calm and normal.
Which sounds okay.
Yeah, but the feeling was Peck's comedic talent was kind of wasted. They wanted more from him, maybe.
Gotcha. Okay, so characters developing, show improving, but then the cancellation, the ultimate gut punch, right?
Yeah.
Because it left that huge central question unanswered.
Exactly. Who is the father? The whole premise.
Yeah.
Fans invested 2 seasons in this mystery, and then nothing. The frustration was definitely palpable online.
So what were the big theories? Who did people think it was going to be?
Well, Jesse was the obvious one, right? Maybe the obvious red herring, some thought. Or maybe the Robin of it all, the one it seems like, but maybe isn't. Sophie did say in the pilot she met the father that night, right after talking to Jesse, so it pointed strongly his way.
But not everyone thought it was Jesse.
Oh, definitely not. Sid was a huge fan favorite to be the father. People argued he had, quote, 1,000% more chemistry with Sophie in some scenes.
Oh, wow. 1,000%.
Yeah, fans get specific. Some were even mentally prepared for them to split from Hannah because they wanted Sid and Sophie together that much. There was even this unconfirmed leak floating around suggesting Sid was the writer's plant. But, leaks are leaks. Plans change.
True. Any other main contenders?
Charlie. There was a more subtle theory about him. Based on the opening credits, the picture cycle, apparently only his face and Sophie's face were circled at one point.
Whoa, deep cut. Fans notice everything.
They really do. And then there were broader plot theories like the father has to be alive because killing him off would just feel like copying the MYM twist, unoriginal.
Yeah, fair point.
Or maybe Sophie's son was adopted.
Yeah.
Or she gets pregnant with Jesse's baby during the show. One really wild one suggested Sophie eventually meets Ted Mosby, tells him her story, and that inspires him to tell his kids before he ends up with Robin anyway.
Okay, that's some next-level fanfic theorizing.
Right.
Amazing. Fans really, really wanted answers. So how did it actually end, the cancellation story?
Well, yeah, officially canceled after Season 2. Hilary Duff confirmed it, left fans hanging right after that Season 2 finale cliffhanger. Brutal timing.
So why? From the fan perspective, what were the reasons flying around?
A big one was the Writers Guild strike happening at the time. Many fans believed it threw a wrench in plans, made it too expensive or complicated to keep the actors under contract during the shutdown.
Yeah, that's not just fan theory, that's the tough reality of TV production, right? Strikes, delays, they can really derail shows, especially newer ones.
Absolutely. But others were more blunt. They argued the show just, sucked or wasn't good enough to earn more seasons, pointing to the initially low ratings, the struggle to take flight.
And that connects back to the short season issue too, right?
Exactly. The argument that modern sitcoms just don't get enough time to find their footing, unlike HIMYF, which had those full 20-plus episode seasons early on to figure things out, this pressure for instant success can be a killer.
There was also speculation, wasn't there, about whether HIMYF had a backup plan?
Yeah, some fans wondered if, unlike HIMYF, which reportedly had backup mothers like Victoria planned, just in case maybe HIMYF didn't have a solid backup story, ready for a sudden ending. We don't know if that's true, but fans wondered.
And the response to the cancellation itself?
Just widespread sadness, frustration. A real clamoring for closure, for answers. People got invested. Petitions were launched. People suggested maybe continuing it in comics or graphic novels.
Wow. It really shows how attached we get to these characters, these worlds, even flawed ones.
Definitely. So yeah, we've traced the whole journey of How I Met Your Father, huge anticipation, rocky start, clear improvement, and then abrupt cancellation. Mystery unsolved.
Right, and this whole deep dive into HIMYF, it really leaves us, and you listening, with some big questions, doesn't it, about spin-offs today in this era of just constant content churn.
Does that need for an immediate hit just crush the chance for shows to develop characters and stories properly? Especially sitcoms, which often need time to find that magic chemistry.
Or do some shows, simply fail to capture that lightning in a bottle like their predecessors did, no matter how much time you give them?
And maybe, what does it mean for us as fans when a story we invest in just stops without the promised ending? especially when that promise is about finding the one.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to think about. Television, fandom, and the stories we carry with us, finished or not.